Just make sure it is recording. Okay, awesome. It's recording. Hello, hello, STS family. So today we have, so you want to be in IT, information technology. And today we have some really heavy hitters in the field in the Mid-South area. And I am so excited to interview them. So we're going to start off with some introductions and some bios because I just described them as heavy hitters, but I need y'all to understand exactly who these people are. All right, so we're gonna start off with Miss Ebony Tomlin. Hello, Ebony. So nice to have you. So, who is Ebony, right? So, we're going to say that Miss Ebony, she's currently an IT support service. Currently an IT support service supervisor at MAA in Germantown, Tennessee. Over the past decade, she's built her career in IT by helping organizations strengthen their technology systems, secure their networks, and support users in solving everyday technical challenges. She began her career in education technology, where she supervised an IT team across multiple schools, improving their use of digital tools and network systems. From there, she transitioned into corporate IT support roles, working as a help desk technician and later as a senior executive engagement manager for the city of Memphis. In that role, she had the privilege of providing direct IT support to the mayor, city council, executive staff, ensuring smooth operations at the highest level of local government. Today, as an IT support service supervisor, she focuses on network security, user provisioning, and troubleshooting complex system issues. She works with teams, vendors, and end users to ensure secure and reliable IT operations, including implementing solutions with tools like Okta, Microsoft 365, Azure, and ServiceNow. Let's see, what's the last part? Sorry about that. Hers is kind of long. All right, so I hold you got a lot of accomplishments, baby. We gotta get them all out. But I hold an Associate of Applied Science in Network Administration, along with several certifications such as a CompTIA A+ and HPE Technician certification. Over the years, she's developed expertise in network administration, virtualization, cloud solutions, and IT service management platforms while maintaining a strong focus on customer service and teamwork. What she enjoys the most about her IT career is the constant opportunity to learn and adapt. Technology is always evolving, and she finds it rewarding to help help others navigate those challenges, whether it's students learning in classrooms, executives managing city operations, and users relying on secure systems every day. Her goal is to continue growing as an IT professional with a focus on cybersecurity and enterprise systems while mentoring the next generation of IT leaders. Thank you so much, Ebony, for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. So what we next have Mr. Rick Hayes. Hello, Rick. So Rick Hayes is a director of infrastructure and information security at Transnetix, where his teams deliver secure, scalable technology solutions to further the company's mission of serving the research community. With over 20 years of IT experience spanning multiple industries, Rick Rick has consistently driven organizational transformation throughout his career through strategic technological initiatives. Rick has successfully guided organizations through complex transitions, including cloud migrations, disaster recovery implementations, and network security modernization. His approach centers on aligning practical technology strategy with business objectives, fostering cross-departmental collaboration, and building high-performing teams that deliver measurable results. Rick holds a number of professional certifications, including the ISC2 CISSP, CompTIA Network Plus, and Nutanix NCP-MCI. He has been married for 12 years and has 3 kids and is a gamer in his spare time. Nice to have you, Rick.
Glad to be here. What little free time I have.
Yes, yes. Now, hold on. What games are you currently playing or obsessed with right now?
Right now, I'm playing the sequel to Hollow Knight. It's called Silk Song.
All
Highly
right.
recommend it. It's very fun.
I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure the students do. So thank you so much for being here, Rick. And last but definitely not least, now we have Miss Jasmine Poindexter. Jasmine Poindexter is a proud Memphian tech professional and founder of Elegant Code Consulting. Have to make sure I get that right. A creative web design and development agency that helps Black-owned businesses, churches, and nonprofits shine online. She currently works full-time at FedEx in HR technology, building systems that support thousands of employees across the world. But Jasmine's journey didn't start with her in a tech background. She discovered her love for tech through problem solving, creativity, and the desire to help people. Now she has an MBA in IT and is a certified Scrum product owner. Has a certified Scrum product owner certification. She's using her voice and experience to open doors for the next generation. She's also passionate about community impact and actively developing initiatives to help young people in underserved communities access digital tools, tech skills, and career opportunities. Through her work with the Memphis Urban League for Young Professionals, she helps others grow professionally and personally. Whether she's building websites, speaking at events, or mentoring the youth, Jasmine is committed to showing others, especially young Black women, that they belong in tech, leadership, and entrepreneurship. So nice to have you, Jasmine.
So great to be here. I'm honored.
Awesome, awesome. So, now that we have everyone introduced and you guys know who exactly these amazing speakers are, let's go to some student questions. They sent in a whole bunch, and I definitely want to see what their perspectives are. You know, what are they concerned about? So let's take a look. All right, so give me 1 second. So, quick question for you guys. Did you follow a traditional path with a degree or a non-traditional path with certifications or just being self-taught when entering into IT?
I can go first on this one because I actually did not take a traditional path. I don't have a degree. I have some college. So I took the approach of being initially self-taught and then going after certifications to start my career. And I started at the bottom doing help desk work and have worked my way up.
I'll go next. I too did not come into the IT field the traditional way, going through college. Well, I have my associates in network engineering, but during that process, doors opened and I was able to get the hands-on experience and network and get certifications. So like, okay, so taking a different route as opposed to the more traditional route, but that's how I got in.
So I am different from the two of you. I actually did take the traditional route. I have a bachelor's degree in computer information systems, and then I have my master's of business administration in IT. So I've been working in the industry for a few years now from doing that, and I'm working on more certifications, but I have like one or two now, right now. So yes.
You know, that's very interesting having two non-traditional pathways and one traditional pathway. Because usually when we talk about the IT field and tech in general, it's kind of dominated by the voices that, did get the, comp sci, degree from a top university, and a lot of people feel shut out. So quick question for Ebony and Rick specifically, since you aren't traditional, what do you feel like there's still room for people to enter without that, without a traditional degree? And what does it take to grow in a field where there's so many like qualified and, educated people with credentials that you may not have, but you do have the talent?
Yeah, I'm happy to go first on that one. I do think that there's plenty of room for a non-traditional approach. I will say that some organizations do set it as a requirement. to have a higher education degree to even join. So there are some organizations that you will be shut out of without it. But that doesn't mean that you can't be successful. I mean, obviously, Abby and I both have distinguished careers. It is possible. In some cases, you might have to work a little bit harder. I think it does help to go to the certification route as well, to have those to sort of back you up, to have that paper that says, yes, I really do know how to do this. It also helps to have a passion for the work and to be able to express that passion when you're doing interviews and demonstrating your work.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with Rick. But I come at the whole technology aspect as technology is communication, right? So you see doctors and lawyers like leaving their careers and now they're technicians or they're analysts or they're network engineers. Technology is the one of the careers where you can be from any background and come into the field and use your talents. For me particularly, I like to stay on the customer service. I get personal gratification when I resolve an issue. And they're like, oh my God, thank you. I hadn't needed that. I get my little happies when I resolve a problem. If it's a particularly hard problem that I had to investigate and troubleshoot and do testing on for a long period of time, those are the things that when you finally get the resolution that you're looking for, those are the moments like, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I did this. Because you get those little happies. So that doesn't necessarily have to come from schooling. Different ways of thinking and taking on the task. So I don't believe, and I don't think I've listened, and I don't know if Jasmine or Rick would agree, or I hope they agree that it's communication. So we all have different talents that shine and that bring to light the things that we have. I might not understand or have the information that Rick or Jasmine has, but I might look at it differently and bring something else to the table that was not even thought of. So different thought processes, different personalities, different ways of looking at things, different highways that we go about things. That's technology in a whole. So my son, he's going to college, he's doing the traditional route, which I'm all for. It's just that how it came about for me, it just a different level. It was a different route.
Awesome. One of the two things that I noticed, like for one, like having that passion, really caring about the issue, that's something that you both aligned on. And also, I did like what you said, Ebony, about specifically, everyone has that different way of thinking. That is an advantage. It's interesting because it's almost like you're describing it in a way that's almost creative, because we think of tech, it's like, oh, okay, A plus B equals C. But no, it's like there's a lot more room for, different types of mindsets, different types of ways of solving problems. And that's not always acknowledged. So thank y'all both for that.
I,
Um,
I would like to add
mm,
that being creative and being able to communicate has gotten me much further in my career than just being able to solve just problems. Solving problems is great, but if you can solve it with creativity and think outside the box and be able to communicate that to somebody, oh, it's golden.
mm.
100% agree with that.
Mhm.
Okay. And for like going to you, Jasmine, I have a question for you who did go the traditional route. What is a benefit that you feel that you did receive from getting, the traditional degree that's often overlooked? I mean, of course you get the networking benefits, the access to certain companies, different things like that. But is there something that you're just like, like people don't talk about this, but I definitely kind of realized that really benefited me?
I think for me, what benefited me the most about going the traditional route was that I got to kind of touch everything. Like it gave me the opportunity to really say, huh, I like project management, but maybe I want to do something else. Huh, I like networking, maybe I want to do something else. Huh, maybe I can do databases. It allowed me to touch every single thing. And the more that I took more of the computer classes and then I had to do a minor in business, I decided, oh, I like this communication part too, because I noticed that being able to communicate well and understand things well and understand high level took you a little further than just the tech. Because you can look up the tech stuff, you can do all the real technical things, but being able to communicate that, and that's why I ended up going to get the MBA. So I think that was the benefit for me.
Okay, so students, like there's a variety of ways, regardless of where you end up, whether you know, want to take YouTube channels, I mean, YouTube videos and get certifications, or you want to go the university route, you can get into tech for sure. And there's room for everyone, creative thinkers, all types of mindsets. So thank y'all for that. I guess the next question I want to pivot to AI. AI, we all are seeing it, you know, we all are seeing how it's affecting our lives, and especially in the tech world. What impact do you think that it will have, and do you think that these positions will be obsolete soon?
I can speak to
Yes.
that. Or you can go first too, Ebony. Feel free.
No, you can take it.
Okay.
I'll after.
So I think most organizations and individuals should be paying attention to the AI field, what's going on. It will be, I believe, I think that it will be transformative in the way that that computers were when computers were introduced, especially in the professional workplace. That's the trajectory that I'm seeing. I'm sure that there will be some jobs that get eliminated in some form or fashion, but taking the company where I'm at, Transnetics, we're taking the approach of not trying to eliminate any positions, but just to make everybody more efficient, so that we can take the do more with less. Basically, the same approach that we took with computers when they were brought in, 30, 40 years ago. So it's something that, as an individual, you can start getting training with on your own. You can set up a free account with Claude or with OpenAI and start working on prompting and trying to problem solve that way. Just to be perfectly honest, when I wrote my bio, I'm terrible about writing myself. I use Claude. Claude helped me enormously write that. It would have taken me weeks to write that about myself, but Claude helped me do it in a day. So it's an extremely important tool. It will be transformative. There will definitely be some changes, and we all have to change along with it. But that's also part of technology. As technology workers, we have to change from month to month, year to year, all the time. And this is just one more thing we have to put into our toolkit.
I definitely agree. I will go off of what Rick just said. We are also implementing AI into our organization. I like to look at it as a tool to help. I don't look at it as a tool to eliminate anybody's current position. I look at it as we're doing a lot of this manually now. If we can add automation and tie that into sending off things, that this is helping us with the time and energy that we're already using through these projects. If we could get it automated, then we have time for other projects that we can spend time on in creating and growing. So I don't look at it as, oh yeah, wow, that's gonna be a situation. We might need to lose some jobs here. I look at it as, wow, that's gonna alleviate a lot of time, or give us more time to be able to build for our future, build our infrastructure. This is going to take out a lot of human errors that we don't know that we're actually, unknowingly putting into our system. So I look at it as a great tool. And like Rick, my bio, I was like, well, how am I going to, geez, but I mean, everything that was said, it was from your resume, from this. It's just like, how do you do that so fast? But that's the benefit of it, right? So we can continue to grow and learn and evolve into a bigger organization with help. I think the problem is when we don't have that information and we allow it to do it for us, and that's where we would get in trouble, because if we don't understand what's going on, then AI then takes over. And as long as we're manually inputting it, this is what I want, this is my thoughts, I would like you to take all of what I'm thinking and internalize it and do what you do. But it's my thoughts. That's not you thinking for me. So as long as we control it, we'll be fine.
I would piggyback off both Rick and Ebony the same thing. Working at FedEx, major company, the push for AI is every day. And I can say AI did help me. I use ChatGPT. It helped me write my bio as well. I use it in my business when I'm trying to craft things to post on social media. I use it to help redo my resume if I needed to redo that. But also recently, I have started using it to help me code on my job. When I'm trying to solve something, I'm like, well, how would I write this? Type it in, that's what I'm trying to do, and it does it for me. But I would also say I would not be afraid about it. Will take away some jobs, but I wouldn't be afraid about that. With that, it's really just a tool. You use the tool. You don't let the tool work you. You work the tool. Is the way I like to say it. And so, but I think it's gonna be the wave is gonna be good. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. So it's best to learn it while you can.
Okay. And I kind of like what you just said there, Jasmine. It is a tool, right? And like what Rick said, get in there and just play with it.
Mm-hmm.
Play with it, see what you can do. Because one thing I've learned through my own personal use, because I'm an instructional technologist by day, you can use AI, but if you don't know how to use AI, it doesn't matter. Like if you don't know how to engineer a good prompt or find a good prompt, it's a waste of your time, really. So at the end of the day, it does behoove us as people in the tech field to actually learn how to use this tool and not only make yourself more efficient, but make yourself invaluable, right? Um, so thank y'all for that insight. I would like to add the next question, which is what's the best way to network into IT opportunities if you don't already know professionals in the field?
I'll take this one first.
Mhm.
The way I kind of network is I'm online, I'm on social media, I find groups. I look up whatever I'm looking for. I look up a group to see if it's something nearby. Um, I also look up organizations within the city because we do have quite a few, like your Tech 901s, your Code Crews. From there, I even get on LinkedIn to find things, and I found a guy that posts weekly things about what's going on in tech in the city, and I try to hit those meetups and talk to people. That's the best advice I have for now on that because I'm still trying to network as well in the city.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
say I'm not a super social person. I have a small social battery, um, and so that can be sort of a challenge for me. But I cannot understate or overstate. Overstate's the right word. Cannot overstate how important building up your professional network is. And if you don't know anybody, then I'll echo what Jasmine said is you look for local groups. Memphis has more than you might think. And in addition to some of the ones that Jasmine mentioned, we also have the SIM, which I'm a part of, Society for Information Management. There's also the Memphis IT Council. There's also a lot of user groups around for particular pieces of technology. And those are great ways to meet people. A lot of those are in social situations like restaurants or whatever that are a little bit more informal. And it helps if you're like me and you have a hard time jumping into a social situation. It makes it a little bit easier to do that.
Okay, that's awesome. Both of you guys have given some amazing resources. Thank y'all for that because these are resources that students can kind of look into even while they're in school and, hop in on those dinners, go to one of those groups or one of those events. So definitely thank y'all. These are tangible solutions. So please look them up, students, once you guys get off this call, once you guys stop watching this video. We did lose Ebony for a second, but she will be back. I guess we'll pivot to the next question, which is how do you handle situations where technology fails, but people are relying on you? No pressure.
I'm happy to go first. So I've been in the industry for a long time, and I have some specific examples. So I used to work, I don't want to name them, but I used to work at a local trauma center. Let's say that. So that was one of my early jobs. I was working there from 2001 until 2006. And technology fails. And when you're working in a hospital situation like that, there can be a lot of pressure, right? So the best way to approach that is to first and foremost is to train for those situations. They do happen, and we have to be prepared for those. And if you drill on those problems, or at least the ones that you think you can anticipate, and practice how you actually approach those issues when they occur, it takes a lot of the anxiety away. It'll always be there a little bit, but that's one of the biggest things that can help is to practice failing, because we learn a lot from our failures.
And what does practice failing look like, Rick?
So it's maybe not inducing something to break, but to imagine how it might break, and then look at how you would approach that problem and how you would solve it. And then literally practice that either via tabletop exercise where you get a group of your peers or people who are responsible, and actually walk through how you would go through each problem or each portion of the problem and figure out how you would solve it. And those can expose like weaknesses in your documentation. They can expose weaknesses in your process and help you prepare. The other thing is just to keep a cool head, right? Like you're going to run into problems that you don't know the answer to, and that's okay. Just communicate up to who you're responsible to, and then communicate across to your team members, and it will be okay. You will solve the problem.
I would say pretty much the same thing. Coming from a background working in HR technology, but more specifically in like payroll. So I'm always dealing with people's money. That's a very sensitive area, and it can be very stressful when things break. I remember an implementation that happened last year where we almost messed up like thousands of records of people's money, and it was crazy. I would say just make sure you're always testing. Try to break it. Try to see where the holes are before you do things, because it still can break. Things still happen even if everything's going right at first. But as you're testing, try to break it. Also, make sure that you have your team you're working on. Rely on your team too to help you see things through sometimes, because sometimes by yourself you may miss something. I would say those are the things that have helped pull me through as I've been working. Is that you know that you're not by yourself, you're not alone, and there's always just always practice and try to make sure that you test heavily.
And I loved, and also Ebony has rejoined us, and I'll give you an opportunity to answer the question in a second because it's a really good one. But I really loved how you said, Jasmine, like try to break it. This is like one of the only fields where you're trying to break the things that you're doing, like you're working on the softwares and different things like that. But also that relying on team, because like, again, like sometimes in tech, you think you're just going to be coding by yourself. You're, this and that, and that's a team effort, where you guys kind of come together and like try to troubleshoot the issues beforehand, which goes into what Rick said too. I really liked the, sitting down and creating scenarios. And you know what would help with that? ChatGPT. Even if you don't have a team, you can literally create your own case studies or scenarios of like, hey, I'm working with this software. Give me scenarios where things could go wrong, and see if you have the ability to fix it. Who would you turn to? Or, have you documented anything? Your SOPs are on point. It really can expose a lot. Like those are awesome. I'm actually going to take those for my boss because I have not heard about that, Rick. But Ebony, the question was, let me say it specific, exactly correct. How do you handle situations where technology fails, but people are relying on you?
Apologize.
Yeah.
Technology is technology, right? Um, how do you handle when people are how do you handle technology when people are relying on you? We got to go back to basics, right? I'm we the business still has to run. We still have to be efficient. So I think that Jasmine might have been speaking on CrowdStrike, possibly. I'm not sure, but when CrowdStrike hit, that's kind of like that's a perfect scenario where like we come to work every day, we do things, we don't really know what's going on in the background, but it just works. And then when you come in one day and everything is just a brick, you're like, wait, what? And how do we fix it? And how do we fix this quickly? And understanding that it's not just me, it's not just the organization, it's everybody is in the same boat right now, trying to get their business back up because of uh, the CrowdStrike. So teamwork. I walked in. I walked in on that day last year. I think it was July or whatever. I walked in and they had already been there since 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, "Hey, everybody, y'all got your coffee? Oh, what's going on?" And they're panicking, like, "What? We got to rebuild. We got to do this." But in that moment, my skill actually shine because when pressure comes, it's like you either fight or flight, right? So teamwork, getting the right people in the conversation to get some kind of momentum. Okay, when we do this, what happens? When we do this, what happens? But and also communicating with the end user or the shareholders that we've got this under control. We're going to take care of it. So I would just say teamwork. We relied on the people that knows exactly what's going on. And once we figured out the issue and how to resolve it, we quickly got the documentation ready to give to everybody so we can all work collectively to get the issue resolved. And I think that we were up within the end of the day. So, but teamwork, understanding that we don't know everything and listening. And I think I overheard like brainstorming, little brainstorming sessions. Us having this conversation might ignite another thought about, oh, I didn't even think of that. Just so everybody collectively having ideas on how to resolve the issue collectively. We can't do this by ourselves. You said something about coding and technology is team. There are some facets of the technology realm that it is one person. That person is just like, they're honed in, but there are others that you need your team. You have to have a team. You have to have an efficient team that communicates, and they're letting you know deadlines, and they're letting you know what's going on, what's not going on. So everything about technology, I'm going to continue to say it is communication. So how would I take care of technology when technology fails and you still need to work? You got to communicate. You got to go back to basics. We didn't always have computers.
That's true.
We didn't. We had paper, pen, copy machines. We did not always have that. So understanding the fundamental basics of things also.
Teamwork and communication, two things that you really don't hear discussed when you are talking about, the technology field. It just feels like, that's more of a communications and like, law maybe, but those traits are still, they're still things that you have to know how to do and do very well. And if you can like communicate extremely well, you can probably get much further, much faster in this career field because there's a lot of people who don't necessarily invest in those skills. So just tidbit students, just in case, you're thinking you don't have to talk to somebody, you do sometimes. So I guess like my next question would be, let's see. There's just so many. I just want to make sure we get a good one. Let's see. Can you share an example? Since we're talking about communication, can you share an example of when leadership of conflict resolution mattered more than technical skills?
I guess I'll take that one. My mic's still on. Every organization has a hierarchy. So when we come to work and we communicate with each other, it's whatever who you report to, your leader. Um, it's very important. So I mean, the leadership can either make or break a situation, because if we don't have good leadership, I can lead you right into failure. I can lead you right into success as well, but having the proper leadership to be able to say, you know what, I don't have the answer. Let me go get the answer. Being able to humble yourself and being able to say, you know what, I might not be able to, or we might not be able to. Let's go get the right people for this. Or understanding this is not possible. Let's cut while we can and start a different pivot. So understanding exactly what's going on, again, with communicating with your team, understanding our deadlines, automations, what's going on can help you uh, lead your team. But you could lead your team right into failure if you don't understand all fact and politics. It's just
Mm.
because just because it's supposed to be like this, that's not the budget, that's not where we're going, that's that's not make a way to figure it out without having to do that. So you leadership too also has its leadership that they have to abide by or follow their instructions as well. So I guess I answered that one a little bit.
I'm not sure. I definitely say that corporate politics, that's in any field you go into. So, Rick, you wanted to add something?
Yeah. So on the there's more than one kind of way to do tech work, right? So this doesn't apply to every discipline in tech, but the bulk of my career has been in infrastructure. So that's anything from building networks and servers to help desk. That's all sort of infrastructure or IT operations. Some organizations call that. And IT operations and infrastructure is really a customer service role, way more than you might expect. And so just like in any other customer service role, conflict is going to be inevitable at some point, because sometimes you're having a bad day or they're having a bad day, and it's going to happen. And at that point, the technology that's underlying that personal human conflict really doesn't matter. What really matters is making a connection to the person that you're interacting with, and trying to understand where they're coming from, and trying to help them understand that you are there to help them, and that we'll get through it together. So those interpersonal relationship skills, extremely important, especially on the infrastructure side. And I would say in a lot of cases, arguably more important. Good communication and empathy go a long way in this field.
No, I 100% agree, Rick. I currently work on the infrastructure side. Quite a bit of it is getting on Zoom, getting them to share their screen, talking them through it, being nice and sweet and not mean and, brash, and just like holding people's hands. So quite a bit of it is customer service. Did you want to add anything, Jasmine? I thought I saw you unmute.
Sure. Trying to wrap my head around the question. So I think that an example of it would be when, like for me, working on this HR payroll side, where the business is trying to understand how do the company has done so many different changes. How do we now do our jobs more efficiently, now that these changes have taking place, and it's something that we do every year. So I would say, like, for our bonuses that we get every year, there was so much about, well, are we getting them? Should we still go through these same processes, these same steps? What's changing? How do we add these changes in? And a lot of the issues that we were facing with asking those questions came from the fact that leadership wasn't thinking about how this would affect along down the line. And so I will say that communication was more important, was going back to the drawing board, trying to understand what leadership was actually wanting, and saying, okay, well, we can do this or we can't do that. Drawing out a plan of requirements for this and saying, hey, this is this is exactly what we need, but this is what we can't do and cannot do. I think that's just anything in IT when it comes to talking to business, saying this is what they want, but and as a tech person coming back saying, well, I hear what you want, but we can do this and we can't do that. And I think that's just very important when you're trying to do anything in the industry.
Mm,
Understanding that business side, leadership side, and trying to encompass it in all, but still let still being able to say plain and simple as a tech person, um, this is what we can do, this is what we can't do.
and that translation piece, right?
Hmm.
Like, because
Hmm.
you have people with these big, ideas of what they want. And, as a person who works on the like back end, you're just like, we don't have the budget for that, the time, different things like that.
Hmm.
Knowing how to, like, for one, figure out what they want with them, they'll tell
Hmm.
you something, but they may not be exactly sure what that looks like. But even more, are we capable of doing it? And in delivering that news in a reasonable way that they can digest. That's not often talked about in our field. So yeah, that translation on all levels of IT, I think you have to do it, and that is a communication skill, right?
Hmm.
And I actually think this is a good time to pivot to another question, because we Ebony mentioned hierarchies, and then Rick mentioned that, like, all these different types of disciplines. I think it would be we need to kind of go into well, we have all levels, what I noticed on this call, right? We have an analyst here, we have a supervisor, and we have a director. So kind of break down, within your organization, exactly what are you doing? What is your, like, day-to-day, like, task looks like? What does it look like to move up the ladder? Of course, you guys don't all work in the same exact type of, discipline, but what does it look like as an analyst compared to a supervisor, compared to a director?
So I'll take this one. As an analyst,
Mhm.
whatever's told to me is what I do. That's basically my role. So I sit on a team where we have a scrum coach, a product owner. And I know these are terms y'all don't know. And then I'm an analyst slash developer. That's basically what I do. So I'm assigned work. I work in that work trying to figure out what the business needs and their requirements and saying, hey, I can do or don't do this. And I work on my assignments based off that, based off what basically our upper management tells the product owner to give us. And the product owner then assigns it to us and I break it down into tasks. That's my job. That's all. I hope that was understandable.
Got it. You do what you're told. Got
Yes.
it. What about you, Ebony? What's it like being a supervisor?
I too do what I'm told. Um, we all have, like you said, a hierarchy. So I report to my manager and the director. But my day to day is we have a team. I'm a hiring manager, so we create the team. Mine is tier one, tier two, infrastructure, customer service. So we get them in. I train them. We train them in. Right now, I'm looking for college students. Right. Um, right out of college, you come in and we give you the business side of things, like understanding the business. And then once you're in, we let you start using those technical skills. Let's get into Meraki. Let's play. Let's learn how these switches work. Let's learn how these access points work. But for us, it's the business. The business is what's most important. So for them to come in and learn real estate, investment, trust stuff, like what, I don't even know. That's what's most important for us. So, but I come in, I have our team, and we um, our company is mid America community. So we service apartments across the United States. So whether it's a property that needs, hey, our printer's not working, or hey, we're no longer have access to our systems, we have to remote in and make sure that the properties have everything they need to succeed. So that could be lots of ticketing systems. So the team is in charge of going into ServiceNow, pulling the tickets, talking to or reaching out to customers saying, hey, I got this ticket. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? and just really investigating on what issues are. If it is, hey, our gate systems are down, or hey, our whole property is down, and you go in Meraki and you look at a switch and it's red. Things, or it's midnight and all the properties went down. Really just being available and having the ability to retain information. Not every day is going to be the same. And I think that's one of the things that I do like about it. It's not redundant and mundane every day, this particular role. So you come in and you're like, what? It got stolen, the whole rack? What? Like, okay, that's the day, you know? So, but pretty much we just customer service and helping our end users have the ability to, they have all the tools they need. That's our job. We're here to help. We're here to make sure that everybody, and even in corporate, they have all of the tools that they need. Whether that's, I need my laptop, I need a new keyboard, we work with hardware, software applications, and installations, creating new networking partners or vendors like Dell, CDW, SHI, just everything is, for my team, is communication. We have to investigate the situation. Do they really need that access? Let's call. Are they really in America? Let's call. You know, so just like our team is, it's a hosh-posh. I tell our guys that we are like an emergency room. We're triage. Everything comes in and we have to figure out what department does this go to? Is this us? Stop the bleed and then get them on up to their department. So this particular role that I'm playing, that I'm currently in now, it's more the most challenging role that I have had in education. Nothing like this. So every role is different, but if you bring yourself with every role, then you'll be okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ebony. We're going to get back to that hiring piece at the very end. But you know, it's interesting. Okay, the supervisor listens from those up top and then tries to disseminate and, you know, manage your team. Now, Rick, you're on top. Are you still listening to what they saying, or?
Oh yeah, everybody has a boss, right?
Yeah.
You know, even the CEO of our company still has a board that he's beholden to. So we all are beholden to somebody, and so for me, I report to the CTO, and so I definitely take my orders from him. But what I'll say as a director is that while I definitely take direction from him, my responsibility really is to interpret both what he says and what the business needs are, so that I can then build out a strategy for my team. So that's, as a director, that's one of my main responsibilities. So Transnetix is in the small business space. SMB, technically, we're medium sized at about 300 employees. So what that means is that I get to wear more than one hat. And so one of the other hats that I have is managing my team directly. So I have a team of 7, and they're multidisciplined. So each person has like an area of excellence that they're responsible for, and then ultimately I make sure that they are assigned tasks. Those tasks are aligned with a strategic business decision that needs to be accomplished, and then another very important piece of my job is also to make sure that my team is being taken care of. So I take it very seriously that they have professional development goals, that they're always learning about things that are important to them and that are interesting to them, that also benefit the company, right? Like it's a mutual thing. And then I also have the privilege of working in a lot of different industries and have a lot of experience across a lot of different types of technology. So one of the other hats that I wear is that I also can mentor some portions of my team. Some people on my team do work that I can't personally do, but I can do a lot of it. And so for the folks that are responsible for those items, I can help guide them on where they can find the answers that they need.
Mm. And so, thank you for explaining, like, what your management style and what it kind of looks like. But Rick and Ebony, since you both do, lead teams, do you find yourself doing more of the leading, or do you find yourself still kind of involved in the actual like technical work?
That's a great question. I will say, but because I started at the bottom, I still really love the tech piece. I really do. I like getting my hands dirty and building a server. Um, but the fact of the matter is that I usually just don't have the time to do it. I wish I could. I get uh, uh, a dopamine hit, I guess, by solving that puzzle, by building this thing, and unfortunately, I don't get to do that as much as I used to. Every now and then, I'll be able to get that when I'm helping one of my team members who's doing that work. So these days, it's probably closer to about 90% leadership and 10% tech work.
Um, I did March 30th March was my official I got promoted into supervisor here at MAA. It has been a learning experience because I I want to do the things, but to learn how to be okay. So, but you're a supervisor now. You're supposed to let them grow, let them do, and then they get to fly and all that other stuff. So, but it's a learning experience, a learning curve. Because, like Rick said, I too, I started from the bottom. So, like, I know what to do, and I know how to do it, and I know what it took to get here. And so, when you're trying to um, lead, it's you try to remember that this is a different tool that you need to refine. Because I thought, if I'm just worried about me and how my performance level is, I'm fine. But now you have to take accountability for a group or a team, and it's your job to make sure that they are successful. And you can't do it for them because that's not how it's done. I can't do all you guys' jobs and then look, guys, we're doing good. No, you're gonna run yourself ragged, and you won't last another quarter. So understanding where to delegate, understanding where to just to say no, really, that's been my biggest, like, you could do that, say no, okay, just not right now. We are moving at a pace to where I'm comfortable, so I don't feel comfortable adding something on right now. Being able to understand where your team is golden. But for me, the challenge has been don't let them do it. They can do it. And so just stepping back and learning how to do KPIs and reporting now. Like, wait, what? This is I didn't like it. But it's part of growing, evolving, and learning, right? So like if this is where you want to be, and really I want to train. That's my ultimate goal. I mean, I'm in this role now and I am getting the training, but the people management manager part, that's where I'm learning the more. I'm like, I have to do that too. Like, now you have to do schedules and lunches, and those are the things that they don't always tell you. The That's not that cool. I want to do the cool stuff. Like, I want to go to lunches and go to the corporate meet. Like, I want to go there, but doing being a supervisor or leading a team, just a different. It's no longer just you. You have to really, your team is a direct reflection of yourself. So what they're getting out of it or what they're not getting out of it, it's how you're delivering, or it's how you are running your team. So that it's a learning curve.
Yeah, I want to reinforce what Ebony was saying. Starting as an individual contributor and moving into leadership, learning to let go and allow my team to be successful and to learn and to make mistakes and to learn from those mistakes. It's been a struggle, and that's something I'm still personally learning. Right, like I'm still not always good at it because, man, that looks fun. I want to go do that. But it's an important realization as a leader to understand that you're robbing your team of experience if you don't let them do it. So it's an extremely important skill to learn.
No, I definitely appreciate y'all adding those points in because as you move up the ladder, the role does look different. And when you do go into this field, do you want to just move up as an individual contributor? Maybe move into consulting or something like that and just like kind of just do the stuff, or do you want to lead? And these are important things that we kind of have to know. Like when you kind of get to that director, you're not building the database anymore. You're leading someone who is. So just as a student, as you're exploring your career, just kind of explore if that's which direction you want to go with that. Jasmine, did you want to add something?
Yes, I'm gonna say from my perspective as an actual individual contributor, I have now been thinking more toward, do I want to go into this management role, or do I want to go up further into the individual contributor, more like a solutions architect of some sorts? Because but I know that I really love strategy and being visionary. So those are the things that I'm thinking about now that I've been in the industry for a while now. So yeah.
And I do want to point a question to you, but Ebony and Rick, you guys can chime in because you guys were individual contributors at one point. What do you think? What do you think it takes to shine as an individual contributor from your point of view, Jasmine?
What it takes to shine is, I think, well, especially for my company, uh, doing something out of the box, showing that you have that leadership ability, that you can take on a project from start to finish and finishing it, working on that specific feature and showing that you delivered something. I think that that's what makes you stand out mostly, when you're thinking about wanting to be great in your field.
Mm, okay.
I'd like to add on to that. I could not agree more. But I want to key on something that you said. Um, so leadership isn't just about leading teams. It's also about setting good examples. And so as a contributor, you absolutely can do that for the people that you work with, and even for other departments. So it's actually a good thing to strive for, to sort of whether you're leading people or not, to sort of lead from the front, set that good example. Show other people how it's done. You're like, hey, I'm doing this. I'm good at it. I'm kicking butt. I want other people to kick butt with me.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, team.
Team.
And I would like to add to Jasmine's comment, how you shine. Me personally, as an individual contributor, I go into any organization and absorb the atmosphere. Like, okay, what is it that I'm supposed to do? What is it what's happening? And then how can me personally, how can I contribute? Where is it in this business that we're in now? How can I thrive? Where can what lane can I go in and thrive, right? So with this particular role, it is a developmental department. Like, this particular company, they build the company, and then they're building the infrastructure. Because when you get an apartment, you just sign a lease and make a copy. What computers really weren't a thing, but now it absolutely is a thing. So now we're building the infrastructure already into an established organization. So finding out or looking to see, okay, well, I see the analytics could be risen if we pinpoint user provisioning. So I just got in there and all of the tickets that were user provisioning based, to dedicate my time to that, because that's where right now, how can I help? Find where you can help and utilize that. Or if I don't even know how to do that, let me educate myself when I go home, and so I can use that skill tomorrow when I come in. So I just find, and also remember, this job, this career that you choose, you want to actually love your job. My dad always used to tell me, never get a job that you hate going to. Always find a career, find something that you love to do. So when you go to work, it's not work. Oh man, I gotta go to work today. I love coming to work because this is what my passion is. I don't have a problem. You gonna stay late? Yeah, I'm not staying late. This is something that I actually like doing, so I don't have a problem with it. So always find something that you like to do, that you're good at, even if you're not good at it, but you want to attain that information, go for it. So I just finding where you can shine is finding what it is inside of me that I can do. Okay, I see that networking not everybody has that network. I could be that. I could be that. So I could be that special matters person. They can come to me whenever they have a network issue. Just find what you like to do, and apply it. Jasmine said something about God, she said something about either going into leadership or continuing the path with individual contributor. Sometimes because you are so awesome, they kind of like, hey, Jasmine, I see the analytics. I see where you are. Have you ever thought of becoming a senior role or director role? Sometimes you don't want that, but it comes to you. We've been looking at you and we've seen your documentation and how you do things, and we would like to offer you this, even though it's something that you weren't even thinking you were ready for. So just be you, shine as bright as you can, and continue to be kind to one another, your team. Because you never know when the time where it switches roles, where they're now your director. You're like, oh, so always be kind, continue to learn, grow, and give the information. There's no sense in gatekeeping information when we're all trying to do the same thing. We all have to attain the same goal. We could all get there faster if all the information is given.
There's so many nuggets of wisdom here. I really like what you just said, Ebony, that they might be your supervisor one day. The one thing about these roles, someone that you worked with a previous company, you both were analysts, they might be the director at the next company. So definitely, lead good relationships, have a great reputation. But I also like that agency piece that, you kind of went into, Rick, right? Where, well, it's not, I guess not agency is the right word, but not just be awesome, but help other people be awesome. Right? That's how you really shine, because not just you shining as a light, but like making the whole room shine. Like, oh, we got a bunch of winners here. That's how people know like you are leadership material and you can guide the ship. So I really love that. And overall, Jasmine, I did like what you said about just taking that initiative and creating something different and doing something out of the box, right? No one really has ever, very seldomly do people get promotions or move up a ladder or up a company just putting their head down and doing exactly what they're asked to do. Of course, there's boundaries and different things like that. But, when you kind of find something that no one else is paying attention to and, creating a tracker or a server or something like that, or something to fix that issue, like people see like, oh, wow, they're actually thinking about the, wellness of the entire thing. And they kind of have that oversight, that wisdom. So yeah, like let's listen to that person. So take that initiative, try new things, and, don't run from your creativity. It might be the thing that actually gets you that promotion. So thank y'all. That was actually like, y'all really like that question. um, so I guess for the next question, I will ask, let's see. Let's see. What misconceptions do people have about like your role or IT in general?
I would say the biggest misconception that I see on social media all the time is that it's like this super quick thing. You're gonna just jump into tech and just be awesome and make all this money. Y'all, while it is, you can get into tech, it is not that simple. And you really should really love what you do. You should not do this for, I need all this money. Because what you will find out as you go higher up and go up and up, that sometimes you can be stressed out and money is not the end all be all the world. I think that's the biggest thing. And every time I see a video like that, it just grinds my gears because it's really not like that.
Or those day in the life videos where they do nothing all day. And I'm like, my system's melting down right now. What are y'all talking about?
Exactly.
From my perspective, especially coming up in the ranks, I would say that uh, as employees in the organization in particular, but even people outside of the organization, had this misconception that IT is always watching everything that they're doing, that we're super hackers and know everything in their chats and are watching all of that stuff. And for the most part, while depending on your role, you may have access to some of that data, but generally speaking, that's not really what we do. We can run a report and see what people have done, but generally speaking, we're way more interested in making sure that the systems that you use are functional and are keeping you productive, and that you're taken care of. We're not trying to breathe down your neck and watch over your shoulder.
Yeah, I'm still struggling with that question because I guess misconception that anybody and everybody can do it. I guess that would be a misconception. Oh, I'll just go into IT. Now, when I said earlier that in all different, career paths can enter into the IT field, not everyone. It's not just, oh yeah, everybody can just get, no, you have to have a passion for it. You have, I mean, if you think that you can just come into IT and just, well, I'll just figure it out, or I'll just find something, or I'll just fall into something and I'll be great at it. That's not it. Not it at all. You have to, I mean, how I see everything, my family is medical and they're scientists, you got, my sister is a hygienist. My mother was a laboratory phlebotomist or whatever. And they're little scientists. They're doing their investigations and their testing and stuff. And computer science, you're still a scientist, right? You're coming in and you're investigating. You're finding patterns. You're troubleshooting issues. You can't train that. I can't stress that enough. When somebody comes in, I need that, and that didn't sound right. Let's investigate that. You can't train someone to click. So you can't just assume that, oh, I'm going to be great at this, or because I have this great investigation skills, I'm going to be great at cybersecurity. That that's not how it works. So I feel like a common misconception would be it's easy. It's not so easy.
Okay. So one, you kind of have to just naturally be inquisitive, kind of have to, and also be a natural problem solver. You kind of just have to have that in you. And no one cares that much about what you do, according to Rick. Like, no one's watching you. We're not hovering over your shoulder, I promise you. And so we're gonna have one last question before we do a fun rapid fire question session with you guys. What can students do to prepare to get in the role while they're still in school? Do they need to get the certifications now? Do they need to get the internships? Like, what type of internships? What do they need to do to prepare for a good role in IT?
I'm happy to start on that one. So since you mentioned internships specifically, I would say working with an organization like SDS to get an internship somewhere is a fantastic start. But before you approach that, you should also have an idea of what interests you. So doing a little bit of research on the type of tech work that you want to do, because like we've said throughout the call, there's infrastructure work, there's development work, there's DevOps work. There's a project management. Those are all IT roles, right? Product managers, they're all in there. So having an idea of the kinds of things that you think might be interesting to you can really help find an internship that would be of interest. Now, if you don't know, and taking an opportunity to do an internship to help you learn what you might want to be interested in, that's a good idea too. But having that research done ahead of time will help you be more successful. And it'll help you land that internship too, because most interns are still interviewed, right? Where it may not be as rigorous as a full-time employee, but you still have to go through the interview process. So knowing the company that you're going to be placed with, what they do, and how you might be able to help them, and how they might be able to help you is extremely important.
I'll go next. I too agree with Rick. Internships, that literally what got me in, because going into school I was able to follow along, but I have ADHD, so I needed to be hands on because I'm reading it and then I don't know what just happened. So when I got into an internship and I'm looking and I'm saying, oh, that's what a switch is, and that's how. Oh, I understand. So being able to get into an internship that it's actually benefiting you, like educating you on hands on, and you being able to visualize and see, oh, that's how that works. So when I configured this switch, now it's communicating to the access point, and that access point to the cellular. Oh, okay. But when you see it in school, you might not get the, okay, I'm in putty. I see it. It's a big block. I don't really understand what's going on here. So interning, I don't necessarily know if you would know what you want to do. It took me I've been doing this for 15 years. So going in, I knew what I didn't want to do. So if you don't know what you want to do, I guess start off with, okay, I know I don't want to do that. So for me, it was when I went in, I started in a school district and you could see all of the roles. Okay, all right, that's the senior or the SOC engineer. I don't want to sit in a chair all day and have to be in front of a computer and everybody depends on me. I know my personality. I know that if I'm at Disneyland one day, I know that I don't want to get that phone call. Hey, stop everything. You gotta okay, so that's what I don't want to do. I know I don't want to be up on ladders and installing and doing it. So figure out what you don't want to do if you don't know what you want to do. And that can just like start weeding out all of the things in technology, and then figure out what you are good at. Mine was I like to make people happy. So where does that fall? Where does that fall in IT? Customer service, end users, face-to-face contact, stuff like that. So just figure out what makes you happy inside, and then apply for those internships that way. So you can really get hands-on. Okay, I really like that. Think that I might tailor my stuff to that. Or I really didn't like that. I'll never try that again, because you don't want to get somewhere where you're stuck. You're really good at this, though. I don't want to be in infrastructure anymore. I want to go over there in sys development where, life is different. So don't, I guess, allow yourself the ability to indulge all of it, and then figure out the one that really that lit something up in me. I'm still thinking about it. I think I like that. So, and go there. So that's how I can say it. Just internships, putting yourself out there. YouTube, YouTube saved my life. Google saved your life.
I would say some of the same things. Internships, but find a free class. The library has classes. Look into the Urban League. Look into Code Crews, the Tech 901s that may have an intro to something. Um, Look up YouTube tutorials. There are websites like Udemy, there's like free code camp, stuff like that can give you intros to things that you can see. Oh, I think that's cool. And just really thinking about what it is that you like. Like for me, I like being creative. I love designing things. I love coloring. Art was my thing. So I knew anything creative was going to be my passion when it came to tech, and solving problems around stuff like that. So, uh, yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, and I love how, all of you guys kind of spoke on, well, Rick, you brought in the internship piece, which is, important. But, Ebony was like, find something that you don't like. Okay. You know what you don't like, take those out. But even when finding things you do like, you don't have to know that okay, I want to work a work day. because you don't know what workday is really, but I do like communication, I do like this, I do like that, and then just kind of, you know what I mean, kind of figure out which internships kind of fit those things. And when you're in the internship, talk to the different people inside of the company, and then you see, okay, I like what this one does, but I don't like what this one does. And Jasmine, that's awesome as well. We have the privilege of living in a city, being Memphis. It's not New York, but there are still a lot of resources, a lot of different classes, YouTube, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, all these different things to just explore online. And the beautiful part about tech, there's so many like free and open source things that you can just play around and have fun with. So explore, get your hands dirty. Don't spend a lot of money doing it. There's a lot of communication that you can do with just people. You'll find that information, and just Google and YouTube and everything else will fill in those gaps. All right, so we're gonna do like kind of a fun portion. Oh, before we do that, yeah,
Certifications. Like you can go on Microsoft 365 and just get a quick like Microsoft 900. Just understanding, like just having those little certifications quickly, that'll get you in your door too.
good point. And you can get certifications. You may not get that CompTIA one right now, but there are like, easier ones to like, just kind of get on in and start getting your feet wet and different things like that. So now we're going to go into a little fun portion. Okay. We're gonna do a rapid fire QA just to kind of, wrap this up on a fun note, and just kind of so the students can get to know you guys a little deeper. And so I guess I'll just ask the question, and it's usually gonna be like a 1 or 2 word answer, nothing too deep. And you guys just like answer in whatever order you would like. Okay, that sounds good. All right. So we're gonna start off with PC or Mac.
Mac.
Linux.
Ooh, okay.
Back.
Mac, okay. All right, first programming language that you learned.
Basic.
Okay.
Yeah, basic. Then visual, please. Yeah, basic.
Visual Basic, yeah.
Oh my gosh, am I the only one when it was HTML?
I
We
guess
were-
if you consider that a programming language,
Yeah, I
even though
guess
I
so,
would say
like-
It
that
is.
some
It
people
is
don't
though.
get-
It is. It is
It is
coding.
though. So I
It
guess
is
you can
coding.
say it with that.
It's a markup language. It is coding.
Okay. So our third one, we would say, what is the first piece of technology you ever fell in love with?
Video games.
My Nintendo. Yeah.
Sega Genesis Game Gear.
Yeah, I was the kid playing with my Game Boy.
Mhm.
Okay. But got a bunch of gamers here. All right. If you can instantly master one new tech skill, what would it be?
The cloud now. I think that's what I want to focus on now.
Okay, that makes sense. Everything's on the cloud now.
It's a bunch of skills wrapped up into one, but I would probably say DevOps.
DevOps, okay. Ebony?
I don't know. I guess yeah, I would I don't know. I wasn't ready for that question.
No pressure, no pressure. Lastly, I would say, what's one tech tool that you can't live without, but that's not your phone or your computer?
Mhm.
It could
I
be
would say
the charger to power it.
it could be a software or whatever. It could be something on the computer, but just don't say like, oh, my laptop.
I rely on going back to AI stuff we talked about earlier. I rely on Claude. I use it every day.
Okay.
ChatGPT is my best friend.
Yeah, okay.
My best friend. ServiceNow platform. I don't think that I could get through without that.
I use ServiceNow at work. That's why I'm laughing so hard.
I do too.
Every day. Awesome. Well, that was our rapid fire question, just so the students can kind of know you guys as people a little bit more, a little bit deeper. All right. And before we wrap up, because we have about 10 more minutes, my last question to you guys, and then you can ask me any questions or anything, or like ask each other or whatever. Are there jobs? That's the thing that the students want to know. Are there jobs? Is there opportunity for them once they graduate?
There is a future, you guys.
All right.
Yes.
How bright is it? Is it bright? Is it looking good?
Yes. I mean, I would say yes, yes. I would, like I said, my um goal, my first hire when I was at the school district was a guy straight out of ASU, Arkansas State University.
Mm,
He applied for the school district. They're like, maybe a little too green. That's perfect for me. Because I would, you guys are eager. You want to learn. This is something new, and it hasn't been jaded for you. You know, no one has come in and said, "Hey, that's not how you do things." You guys have that light still. So I absolutely, I encourage students. Hey, come. I love to teach, learn. I love to pour in and watch you grow. So I that I would prefer that than someone 15 years in. My old company. I've done that. Well, we're not there no more. We're here. So we gotta change it up a little bit. Though sometimes you get set in your ways when you're a veteran at things. So I love new blood. This organization's new, and we love the new blood. So yes, there's
and
definitely
you said you still have a soul. You're
yes,
not dated and it hasn't been taken like the rest of us. So
yes,
you're still valuable.
yes.
I would say that there definitely are jobs. Uh, but I do also want to say that the market is tough right now, in tech in particular. There, I won't say necessarily it's hard to get a job, but you do have to work harder to distinguish yourself right now. And so, taking advantage of programs that you have to elevate yourself and educate yourself are extremely important. And doing those will help to uh, help you rise above other people who are applying for the same jobs too. The jobs are definitely there, but you'll have to work for it.
Yes, I'm not on the hiring side, but when I do look on LinkedIn and Indeed, the jobs are there. They are harder to get now. I would say that the biggest thing, try to find a network of people, talk to people,
Mhm.
in these groups, you may meet a hiring manager. You just never know. But I think at this point, we're at the point now where it's like who you know at this point to help you get to where you want to be. Um, and I will say this, FedEx is always hiring. They have internships right now. So I would say look online if you're looking for an internship.
I want to add to that. Every job that I've ever gotten after my first IT job, every other job, um, I won't say that I got the job because I knew somebody, but a referral
Yeah.
or a reference, and often somebody who I already knew was already there, just to get me an interview. I'd like to think, I hope that I earned those jobs myself, but getting the interview is one of the toughest parts. And so, developing a network, super important. Could not be more important.
Your network is your net worth.
Mhm.
And, that cannot be understated. And with saying that, Ebony is hiring right now. So if you got any seniors, anybody coming out, please feel free to reach out. If you guys don't mind, we'll be sharing your like LinkedIn's with the students. And if you guys would like to connect with, Rick or Jasmine or Ebony, I highly suggest that you do. These are vets in the field. They're currently doing the work. And we talk about expanding your network. These are the perfect people to start with. And we're coming up on time. Is there any last words that you guys want to offer to the students or anything?
I would say find your passion, whether that's IT or something else, whatever it is. Find your passion, and develop it. Don't just decide that I'm good at this and I'll be good and that's it. Um, Work at it, research it, play with it, do whatever makes you feel good. But if you find your passion and develop that passion, you will be successful.
I would add to that, find your passion, be creative, and innovate.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I will add to that. Uh, Never give up. Don't get discouraged. You get to an interview and they're like, well, it's not what we're really looking for. Okay, you're gonna get no's, but allow yourself the opportunity to put yourself out there. Because the only worst thing they can say is no. The best thing they can say is yes. And if you don't put yourself out there, then you won't even have an opportunity to know. Oh, I tried, but they said no. That's okay. That's just more practice for me. So allow yourself the ability to try new things, put yourself out there, and don't get discouraged. Not everybody can interview well, you know. Practice in the mirror, make your elevator speech, practice on your dog, your mom, your dad, just feel it. I would just never give up though. Never get discouraged, never give up. It's not the end all be all. Not everybody is looking for you, but when you find it, it's yours. Not everything's for you, but when it is yours, it will be yours. So never give up.
That's beautiful. And I heard a quote last night, and I think that just adds to it. When you come to a decision or something comes to your doorstep, the best thing you can do is the best thing. The second best thing you can do is the wrong thing, but the worst thing you can do is nothing. So do something, innovate, find your passion, be creative, do it all, but do something. You have all this wisdom that these individuals have given you. So please, please take it and do something with it and be great. Thank you guys so much. The STS Enterprise Corporation is so grateful to have you as our esteemed speakers, and I'm really enjoying this conversation. So,
Me too.
thank you so much for being here, and have a good day. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.